benefits of the welfare warfare state is one thing, but we have to realize it's destroying us financially. We talked about we can't balance the budget without taking some of these things off the table. I don't think we should. We need to make cuts everywhere. We can't afford it anymore. End of story. Any fifth grader knows you can't spend, borrow, and print your way to financial success. Yet the Federal Reserve has doubled the money supply in the past year, while food and energy prices keep soaring. Foreign countries are starting to question the long-term viability of the U.S. dollar. National public debt is almost $12 trillion. That's 70% of GDP. It's projected to rise to 97% of GDP by 2012. By some calculations, the direct tax burden of government at all levels is 29% for Washingtonians. When you add deficit spending and regulatory burdens, the total cost of government skyrockets to 63%. I'm so tired of government stealing my liberty and the fruits of my labor with empty promises of safety and security. I'll take care of myself, thank you very much. This is the land of the free. The land of the brave. Americans will accept governing by the laws of nature and that nature's God, but we will not be ruled. The Declaration of Independence says governments are instituted to secure people's rights. The 10th Amendment shackles the federal government in the chains of the Constitution. The Constitution of Washington, your state, says it well. All political power is inherent in the people, and governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed, and are established to protect and maintain individual rights. Thomas Jefferson also said the policy of the American government is to leave their citizens free, neither restraining nor aiding them in their pursuits. We know what the Founding Fathers believed as to the role and scope of government. There's no doubt in my mind they consider you and your ilk an enemy of God and the Republic. My question is at what point will you and your statist buddies in Washington be satisfied with your plunder of America? Does the role and scope of government have no limits?
You have identified me, in your words, as an enemy of God and country. I resent it and profoundly disagree with it. And by the way, we may disagree on policy. I've studied this Constitution extensively. I've studied Thomas Jefferson. My kids are named, middle name, Washington and Franklin. Only reason I didn't name him Jefferson, who's my real hero, is he didn't free his slaves on his death. I know a lot about Thomas Jefferson. I respect him profoundly. Some of the things he said was, no generation, no Congress should saddle future generations with debt. I think he's right. I think he's right. But it's not just my ilk, my friend. It has been the case, the deficit was zero when Bill Clinton left office. When we doubled the national debt, I was there voting against a lot of it. So let's not start with my ilk.
The Republicans were the worst offenders there too.
Fair enough. So look, I'm telling you, and I want to be clear on something. I did not say tonight that you should take anything off the table. What I said was for purpose of understanding the mathematics of the situation we're in. Not just rhetoric, not just speeches, and not name callings. The real hard mathematics. If you took that off, you're still in deficit. I also said everything should be on the table. Defense, non-defense discretionary income spending, and entitlement spending, and revenue. And I hope you would agree with me on that.
Taxandspend.com would like to replay a small portion of this video to give an example.
I know a lot about Thomas Jefferson. I respect him profoundly. Some of the things he said was, no generation, no Congress should saddle future generations with debt. I think he's right. But it's not just my ilk, my friend. It has been the case, the deficit was zero when Bill Clinton left office. When we doubled the national debt? I was there voting against a lot of it. So let's not start with my ilk.
The Republicans were the worst offenders there, too.
Fair enough. So look, I'm telling you, and I want to be clear something. I did not say tonight that you should take anything off the table.
Clearly point out how Brian Baird slides the issue off on the Republicans with a bunch of half-truths. Yes, Bill Clinton was involved in the help of a balanced budget, but it all starts back with the contract with America, which the Democrats vehemently opposed during the '93 election cycle. Brian Baird forgot to say that the president does not authorize one single dollar. The Congress, House of Representatives, which he is a part of, responsibility of authorizing all expenditures. And my question to Brian Baird is, how are you going to control the expenditures in an expanding government climate that you have and your party has created?